this is the retaping of Center 1, and this is called Focus on Feathers and Feet. This center is very huge and comprehensive. You could break it up into 2 centers if you want to, or you're going to need the full 20 minutes to get through all the stuff that we have. This center includes a huge collection from the Nature and Science Museum. It's valued at $2,000 as it says on the outline, and the adult volunteers are responsible for the care of these items, including study skins. Now, study skins are basically where they have taken a bird, they've taken out all the insides and everything, and then they've even taken out the eyes and then just preserved it for the use of study with scientists. So you can tell the kids they're little scientists this time. You will not have time to get through all of the specimens. You'll probably have to pick and choose which ones you guys want to do. Let's see. Also with this center, in the last one, I have actually seen parent volunteers like letting kids like walk around with skulls and things like that. When I've been here substitute teaching, if you guys could just maybe get one thing out at a time, they can do a 2-finger touch, they can use the hand lenses with them, but I do not want the kids handling these on their own just because of our relationship with the museum. Went through the study skins. Okay, and then when you go to pack them up, this is the storage bin. Heavy items need to go down at the bottom. This is going to be a super heavy item. And then you wrap up everything in these little sheets to wrap them up, and then just put really light things up at the top, obviously. So let's get into the heart of the center. The first part you're going to be studying is about feathers. So this is the main thing you're going to whip out in the very beginning. There we go. And it has examples of contour feathers, flight feathers, down feathers, and plume feathers. And then you're also going to be showing them this handout, which is the main feather handout, as well as several others. You might want to come in ahead of time and look these over to see which things you want to tell the kids about. And then this one, all about body down and tail feathers. And then finally, this really nice handout on all the different types of really pretty feathers. So,
always remember to start with handouts and then go to the specimens.
Always do the handouts and then do the hands-on stuff. The first one is flight feathers. These are usually found on the wings and tails of birds. They have hollow shafts. They're lightweight, and so that they are ready for flight. The next kind of feathers are contour feathers. These are smooth body feathers that streamline the bird and also carry colors and patterns of distinctive species. So you can be like showing the kids this while you're talking about these. Then you talk about down feathers. They have very short shafts with many non-interlocking barbules that create dead air space for good insulation. You can talk to them about maybe they have feather beds or they've got down coats that they go skiing in, and it helps to keep them warm. And then finally, these plume feathers, which is this one. These are typically large ornamental feathers with a long quill and shortened barbs. And we do have some ostrich feather samples over here that you might want to get out and show them. This is an example of a plume feather, and have them get out and have them touch it and everything. And you want to tell the kids that birds are the only animals that have feathers. So you want to, when you're having them go through these things, you can ask various questions. What do you see? How do you think certain things help the bird? What are feathers made of? And you can talk about how they're made of keratin, and it's the substance that forms the beak, human hair, fingernails, and exoskeletons. And then what's different about each type of feather? You might want to pull out like this owl and talk about how his feathers might be different than the feathers over here on this. I'm not even sure, I think that's a hawk. But anyway, all the numbers, if it's not labeled, like this is a
pheasant.
This is a pheasant, but not all of them have tags, and they associate with the numbers on there. So if you're not sure what the item is, you can always look and associate the number. And then once you're done kind of looking at these, you're going to go into a more in-depth look at flight feathers. So we have purchased 100 flight feathers. These are goose down flight feathers. You're going to go through We have purchased 5 for each class, so each rotation that goes through, you can actually have them use 1 per rotation because they're going to be getting their hands on these and stuff. And then you're going to talk about the tiny hooks or barbools that are on the barbs that are on the parallel strands. So it's how it goes together, like they kind of separate and then they go back together. So basically, they lock together like Velcro so a bird can zip its feathers into a smooth aerodynamic surface. So the kids are going to, basically you're going to give them a feather, they are going to pull it apart, okay, like this, and then they're going to zip them back together and how they just go back together perfectly and talk about how that happens. Okay, and then there's even some like little down feathers down bottom. You're going to talk about how it's a hollow shaft, and so it's really light for flight. These are really super light feathers. And then you're going to talk about how birds groom themselves, and it's called preening. And when birds preen, they zip up their feathers, keeping them together for flight. And they pick at them and try to get the little insects out and any microscopic dirt, and they're always doing that so they're all ready for flight. Let's see, they also have a gland at the base of their tail that contains an oil, and that also keeps them put together as well. And waterfowl have more oil than regular birds do. So anyway, that's a scoop on that. Then you're going to move on to feet adaptation.
I see.